Hello there everyone, we've got another roster review and it's from Space Invaders Out from Al again. It is Metr0x. Okay, so let's just start with the basics. We've got Jedi Knight Revan in Arena and we've got Negotiator in Fleet Arena. So let's start from there and move on. Let's go into the inventory. So 1.377 million GP. We've got a Relic 5 Vader on the headlines, we've got JKR as we've seen, we've got Padme as well, we've got a Relic Geonosian, Brood Alpha, we've got CLS with a Zeta. So, interesting starting tunes. We've also got Chief Chirper Zeta, so that may imply C-3PO. So, we are going first of all look through what they've got, just see what they're building, and then we are going focusing on some things that Metr0x has said that they want to work on. So, let's just have a quick glance. So 501st, have we got any clones? We've got a few clones built up, alright. 5 Zeta, that's always a nice Zeta to choose, so nothing much else to say here, let's move on a moment. Back batch, any gear given? No, all level 1s, can understand that. Move along. We've got Bounty Hunters. Bounty Hunters, we're talking level 85 Bosk, but the rest don't look ready yet for Chewie, although the stars are actually respectable. If the Mandalorian could get his stars ready, I actually think that would be, well, it'd need gear, but you'd be certainly get the right tunes to do the event. So I'd say that's good progress. Just finish off the Mandalorian and then gear them. Yeah, as if that isn't the big issue. Okay, droids. So yeah, I've got your 7-star C-3PO. Okay, I'll need to look at your Ewoks in a moment. Well done on that though. We've got Chopper, we've got R2, 3PO and Chewie. 3PO and Chewie is definitely worth having at this stage, so well, even at 4-star it can do some work, so well done there. Let's move down. Empire, like I said, we saw the Relic 5 Vader before. Emperor Palpatine could do with building up a bit. Well, Thrall could do with building up a bit as well. They both look quite anemic, but we'll just see how they're looking in comparison to the rest of the units shortly. Alright, so the Ewoks, they tickled me fancy. How are they looking? Okay, so we've got Chief Chirper with the Zeta, we've got a Gear 11 Alder, Gear 10 Wicket, we've got a Gear 9 Logray and a Gear 9 Paplu. Alright, I've got to admit that is quite low gear for 7-star. I mean, I won't call it impossible by any stretch if you put your best mods on. However, I've got to say that is very impressive. I mean, I've heard tales of Ewoks being done at low gear, but that must have taken a while. So well done on getting your 3PO. Yeah, I'd say Alder there alone could probably have done a fair bit of work. Your Wicket, I'm building Ewoks for Crimson as well, and I'm going to take mine to a little crazy level, to be honest. But I think that's just because I want to see what the Ewok team's like. But I imagine Wicket at Gear 10 could do some good work for you, so yeah, I'm not going to say anything derogatory there. First Order. Okay, not a lot going on here. My dog just decided to bark. Say hello to everyone. Hello. Okay, so First Order. Not a lot going on there. Let's move on. Galactic Republic. We did see a Padme. Okay, JK no Zeta, fair enough, because you've only got a Gear 11 Padme, so that's understandable, but you have got GK Zeta and Ahsoka's Zeta, so hopefully Anakin Zeta will be prioritised soon, because it's almost a shame not to give it to him. But as far as the rest, you don't really need 3PO Zeta. You aren't using your clones yet, so Shaq really doesn't benefit from them. So yeah, so far so good. Okay, moving on. Geos, we did see Brood Alpha with the Zeta, so that is promising. I'm curious if you're doing the WAP mission with that. It's not impossible, but I've not seen anyone do it that low. So I would be curious to know if you're doing the WAP mission with that. Okay, let's go to your Imperial Troopers. Yeah, they're a bit non-existent, so move along. Move along. JKR, yep, we saw that in Arena. Jolie could do again a bit thicker. I would say thick Jolies, they're the best, honestly. So try and give him them 2 gear pieces, getting up to 11, 12, 13. Honestly, he's risk-free. Okay, so we're going to just carry on. We're blasting through these, but we're going to come back and have a look at things in more detail shortly. So Django, yeah, Django's probably leading your Mandalorians, unfortunately. Move along. Night Sisters, yep. about the same as Crimson's, pretty much. Old Republic. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's a lot going on here for Darth Revan, but like I say, you've got what you needed for Jedi Knight Revan, so that's all that matters right now. Your Phoenix. Yep, your Phoenix got your Thrawn. I think you don't need to say much else, although maybe I'm just OCD. I don't like leaving toons at weird levels. Just give them some credits. Alright, Rebels. Okay, so I know you want me to talk about your Rebels, so we'll come back to them in more detail, but just at a glance, we've got CLS Han, I'm thinking about a CLS team here, so we've got Obi-Wan, 3PO, Chewie, 3PO and Chewie. You've got options, so there's a few things we can talk about here. I will come back, as I say. So, Resistance, just the ones you'd expect. Move along. Any Seppies? We've got Geos, and that's about it. So I think to round it out, it's the Sith. You've got your Vader, and that's about it. Okay, so I have raced through a lot of that, I will admit, but in part it's because I want to give everyone a flavour of your roster, but I also want to just go into detail, like we discussed in the comments. I will point out that at this moment, if you're watching this and you want your roster reviewed, please leave a comment with your ally code and what you'd like to discuss. So, what I would say, you're going for gas, so we need to have a look at those requirements, don't we? Let's get your Galactic Republic up first of all, because that'll be the bit that really starts you off. So, I did touch on this a little bit. You've got your 3PO, that's a great start. I believe there's a power threshold, which I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. I believe it's either 17,000 or 17,500 GP, it's going to be something like that. So at that point, you do have a question to ask regarding C-3PO. Do you want to give him 2 Zetas so that you can give him less gear? Or would you rather give him more gear, but less Zetas? So that is, I mean, to be honest, you may want to go overboard anyway, because C-3PO is quite a useful part of the game anyway. But if you want to just go under a little bit, you do have a choice there. As far as the event itself, you're going to need Padme, you're going to need Ahsoka, General Kenobi, Shaq as well. So those first 3 on the top row. At Gear 11, Gear 12 and Gear 11, you will struggle. I feel that's safe to say. Let's just go into them a bit. Yeah, you've got past the power threshold on Padme, so that's a good start. Ideally, I wouldn't say she needs to be, but ideally she needs to be in Relics. Just for the simple fact that she gains more health and just a general mastery improves. So when you look at it, for instance, you've got 34,730 health right now. That will quite easily jump up when she goes to Gear 12, let alone Relics. So I would prioritise getting Padme to Relics, just for that one purpose. And equally, I would do the same for General Kenobi. So right now, let's just have a look at your mod sets for Kenobi. So we've got offense, we've got a bit of speed, a bit of protection, a bit of health. How are we looking up here? A bit of speed, protection, health, tenacity, alright. Your diamond, you've got speed, protection, health, okay. We've got protection, defense, offense, defense, speed. We've got health, speed, protection, health, tenacity. And the final one is protection, offense, health, speed, tenacity. Okay, so what I'm seeing from those mods, if you're going to be using these mods for General Kenobi when you use Kenobi under Padme, they aren't optimized. So you would need to switch to a health set. So that is something that I think is quite important, because I can tell just looking at your numbers here, you've got a lot of protection, which is good for a Jedi team. But when you use Padme, health is converted into protection up, therefore you really want as much health as possible. So try and keep that in mind, that you will need to remod Kenobi, especially for that event. Equally, a bit like what I said, he gains protection and armour from his mastery, plus a bit of health steal, so he's a no-brainer for Relics in that event. I mean, Kenobi himself is a no-brainer to Relic anyway, but that protection, even though you don't necessarily want to mod for it, just naturally boosting the protection is a bonus. And armour, as we found out with the recent Road Ahead, armor, defense, all those kind of stats, they're going to play a big part soon, so I really wouldn't try and neglect them. So currently you're on 36%. Offhand, I don't know what I say Relic 5 Kenobi can go to, but you're going to get a nice buff. So I would really consider just trying to get him into relics, try and get him health mods. So key things we want to look here: health primary. You've got health primary here, but try and mod for health as well. I mean, the protection doesn't hurt here. You're trying to do a balanced build right now, especially with using JKR. But you could even possibly afford to sacrifice the speed primary and go health there, as long as you've got good speed in your secondaries. Right now, I would say you haven't got too much of that. I mean, you've got 76 speed with what you've got, so maybe it's a bit of a big jump to say, right, don't go for a speed primary arrow. But if you have got a good, say, health arrow and you can roll speed, try it. You never know, it might work well for Kenobi. Okay, so just moving on to Ahsoka. Ahsoka in the event, she's the one that you want modded the slowest. She doesn't have to be slow, but she just needs to be the slowest of the 5. So let's have a look at how fast she is right now. 191. Okay. So the idea is with Daring Padawan, she gains plus 25 speed, and these values are doubled while she has crit hit immunity. Now, if I'm right, it's the idea that you won't get crit hit immunity from the event unless Kenobi gives it to you, I believe it is. Let me just recheck Kenobi's kit. I can't remember if he gives that by Sorosu. Yeah, there we go. They gain crit hit immunity for 1 turn. So she could gain crit hit immunity in the event via Kenobi. So that would then turn into plus 50 speed. I knew there was something there. So yeah, keep it in mind, you don't necessarily need to mod Ahsoka for speed, especially considering you do want it to be the slowest in the team. So you could afford to keep the speed arrow, but you could also mod for health, for offense. It wouldn't hurt either way. Again, you want to mod for health just for survivability as much as anything. Yeah, you've got speed here, that doesn't hurt. 2 health definitely doesn't hurt. You've got offense on the cross, that's good. Bit of speed. I'm not saying this is bad, but if you've got something that's got health, again, just keep modding for health. It's the golden rule for Padme teams. Then you've got health, offense. Okay, yeah, you've got a nice mod there as far as what you've got. So yeah, as far as your Ahsoka is right now, I would say it's actually pretty okay. I don't know if you can maybe tweak it a bit closer to the event, but as far as what you've got right now, it is doing something. So what I would say is if you were able to do the event tomorrow, which I know you aren't, but just supposing, you could afford to try and leave these mods as they are. But if you've got something better by the time you go into the event, try it out, because just as long as they've got primaries of health, primaries of offense, or crit damage for the triangle primary, and just general survivability you want. As long as you've got those primaries, you're going to be okay. You don't need armor or anything like that, you just need offense and a little bit of health. So, as far as Padme, that's a pretty simple one. You need speed and you need health, so I'm not going to go into too great a detail there, but if you got health, if you can do 6 health sets with good speed secondaries, that would be great. Health primaries on all of them if you can. If you need to do a speed primary on the arrow, by all means do that. If you have to do speed sets because you haven't got fast health sets, then you can do that as well, but you really need to prioritise the health on the secondaries then. Okay, I don't feel the need to just go into great detail there based on what you've got, but in general, Padme does need to be the fastest, so she can get the, is it the cunning plan move? There we go, she just needs to do that straight away. Or aggressive negotiations, she needs to get protection up going. And then as far as the rest, I believe C-3PO it has to be the 2nd fastest on the team. Shakti has to be the 3rd. So again, I'm not going too far into Shak just for the fact that she's quite a way on for you. But as far as C-3PO, speed, potency, just make sure he's a little slower than Padme. And with Shak, just try and, again, just getting behind C-3PO. Remember, 3PO is a little naturally slow. I can't remember what ability it is off the top of my head. There we go. He gains 20 speed just from his unique. So, let me go back one sec. Yep, so 3PO currently for you is 223, so in-game he's 243. So, you would need Shaq to just be a little slower than that right now, but obviously if you remod, if you get better mods, you can work around that. Okay, so after that you said you wanted to talk about CLS, so let's go to the Rebels. Okay, so let's have a look at what you got currently. Okay, so you're running crit damage, crit chance. That's a nice little combo. Let's have a look at the actual mods. So 15 speed on the square, very nice. You've got a offense stat there as well. Shame about the defense, but I wouldn't call it a crying shame. You've got speed on your arrow, good. Bit of tenacity, that's not bad on CLS. Potency's not bad either. Offense, good. You got offense, speed, crit chance. That's a nice little combo. Protection's a bit of a shame, but really you've got 3 good ones there. Crit damage triangle, very nice. You've got speed, tenacity, crit chance, very good stats there. You've got offense, speed, potency, yeah, and health. Yeah, I can't really complain there. And then offense again, crit chance, speed, defense, protection. Out of the mods I've seen so far, that's probably the one that's not the best. Don't get me wrong, the speed's good, crit chance is great, and offense is great. It's just the 2 secondaries, so if ever you're doing remods, just think to yourself, if I could get maybe offense in there, it wouldn't hurt, because the protection isn't bad, but ideally you don't want defense. Defense does nothing for CLS really in the end, so just think to yourself, can I make him hit harder? So it's 1 stat in the end. I'm not even too bothered about the protection, but if you could just shift 1, I would say that. But honestly, this is if you're just getting nitpicky and you just think, right, I can improve this mod. As it is, it's going to do a job for you. So if you look at the stats, okay, you've got pretty decent speed, 1 or 2 sets, very nice. You've got good crit damage. So yeah, I would say you're doing very well here for what gear level it is. Was it gear 8? Gear 9? Gear 9. Okay, so I would say your mod sets are well tuned for CLS. The main thing I've prioritised on my own, I like going for CLS to be the fastest one on the team, just for the fact that, if anything, he's the one who keeps the turn meter flowing, so getting him taking turns makes sense. So after that, I just mod for a bit of tenacity on the cross. Offense, as you did, isn't bad, just for the fact that you want him hitting harder, but I've got plenty of offense via relics, so I can afford to put a bit of tenacity in there just to try and make CLS a little less, a little bit more resilient to debuffs. But right now at your level, offense is not bad, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go on to Han. Okay, you've gone for crit damage and health. So again, we'll have a look at the mods themselves. Offense, potency, speed. I don't know about the potency. Again, you might be just looking for the speed, that isn't a bad thing. Potency isn't bad as far as trying to land these TM drops. I don't necessarily mod for them myself personally though, just for the fact that at times you can be wanting to avoid them. So for instance, if you're facing a Nuke Gunray team with Nest, you might try and just squeeze your way through that, but then you can end up having a 5v1 versus Nest, and because you've got so much potency, Nest just stays TM drained. Same story with Jango Fett and damage immunity. So sometimes potency can be a bad thing on Han. I wouldn't mod against it, but I wouldn't mod for it either. So I'll just leave that there. That could just be a mod that you've picked for speed, I'm aware of that, but I just thought I'd bring it up while I saw it. Crit damage, we've got speed primary, we've got offense, potency. Yeah, I mean, the offense is good. Like I say, if you can get more, well, I say good, I'm talking about as a stat, it's good. 0.86 after 2 rolls looks a bit low, so in the long run this might be a mod that gets shifted down your roster, but for now it's probably going to do you good there, so don't worry about that for now. If we're talking about the diamond, we're seeing 12 speed. That's quite good offense by comparison to the previous mod, and you've got a bit of offense on the side, so that's not bad. Let's have a look at your triangle. Offense primary, speed, crit chance. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to say crit damage wouldn't hurt. But I've flip-flopped between offense and crit damage myself, so I can't really say you're wrong by any stretch, because when I did my original modding for Han, I went full offense, thinking that Chewbacca with guard gives crit chance and damage. So offense made sense, but I have recently gone to crit chance and damage for Han, purely because why not just add more? So by all means, none of it's bad, but maybe it's something for you to think about. You know, if you can get that crit damage triangle, would it be worth it? Okay, offense, speed, offense, great group of secondaries there, nice group. Tenacity as well, again in the CLS team, tenacity is quite good at times, so I don't begrudge that. So yeah, you've got four pretty decent mods, four decent secondaries there on this mod. Then the final one, potency, I'd prioritise offense. I would prioritise offense. If you haven't got it, fair enough, but if you can get it, that would be better. And the only thing that's really helping here is speed. In mirror matches, it's important to have a faster Han, but I very rarely do CLS mirror matches just because I don't know why, I just don't see the need to do them. So how I'd look at it, I would prioritise offense over speed on a mod like that. If you can get speed, great, don't mod against it, but say you've got offense primary crit damage mod with, say, 3 speed, but you've got offense secondaries as well, go that way. That might make more sense. Well, yeah, if we just look over all your stats, 224 speed, I'm going to say it's about the same as mine, so again, I'm not going to say too much there. Crit damage, like I say, it can be higher, but I've seen that logic before about going for offense over crit damage. And yeah, same there, so not a lot else to add there. So far, 2 good modded characters. Okay, I'm going to skip these 2, and we've actually had a look at 3PO's speed, so we're going to go to Chewie. Alright, so let's have a look at what you got on Chewie. Bit of offense, bit of tenacity, which I like, a bit of speed, protection, crit chance. A little bit unlucky in a way that you didn't get rolls on the crit chance or tenacity over the protection, but if you took that to 6 dots and rolled it, you possibly could get some good mod secondaries there, so that is a good mod. Okay, let's just move on. You've got speed arrow, you've got offense, potency's not bad on Chewie just for the stuns, and then crit chance again, not bad. Let's see, tenacity, again, I like tenacity on Chewbacca. We've got speed, offense, protection. So far this is looking very nice. Offense again, I can understand the logic for offense over crit damage. Not a lot else going on this mod though. So again, maybe something to work on, because yes, the speed is okay. I say okay because at 4 rolls, the best you realistically go and get now is 19 speed. So not the greatest mod overall. That might be one that again shuffles down your roster with time, but for now it'll probably do a job for you. Okay, so moving on, we've got protection, potency and speed, that's not bad, but again, not a lot of offense here, so just try and slip some offense secondaries in if you can. And then, ooh, a 4-dot mod. Ooh, Sal. I'm not even looking at it. I don't care if it's got 16 speed. Sal. 4-dot mods are the plague. Anything below it is evil. I'm exaggerating a little, but honestly, just get rid of it. Okay, let me just go back. I'm being a little bit silly with it, but like, let's have a look. You've got 232 speed. I'm ignoring whatever that gave you. But I think to myself, you've got some good mods in there. Just honestly, the reason we get rid of 4-dot mods, it's because you can't roll them, so that mod is now dead. You can't do anything with it. So just try and find a 5-dot mod that's got similar stats. I know that's like saying, you know, put your hand down the sofa and find change, but you'll find some eventually. Okay, let's finally look at 3PO and Chewie. So you've got offense and potency, alright. 20 speed, that looks very nice. Bit of tenacity, not bad as well. We've got speed with a bit of offense. I like that, that's good. We've got speed, offense, health and protection. Considering Chewie does share his stats, again, that isn't bad. Crit damage triangle, very nice. If you could roll that, that'd be nice with the speed and the offense. Even the tenacity would be nice. Yeah, he does share tenacity, so again, that'd be a very nice triangle. Circle, speed, crit chance, health protection, again, very nice. And just cross 11 speed. Ooh. You could get something out of that. I mean, I'm not going to say you won't. It needs some luck, but you could. I mean, I wouldn't prioritise rolling it, let's say that. But you've got some okay stats there as well, so yeah, it's a bit of an iffy one that, because honestly I would prioritise an offense primary there as well. And so you don't really need tenacity, you don't need potency. So yeah, I would prioritise offense there anyway, but supposing you wanted to stick with this, yeah, you wouldn't be too bad with these stats. So yeah, it looks pretty well built for 4-star. I mean, again, the stats themselves aren't going to show too much to me just for the fact it's 4-star, but how I view it, you've probably got some good stuff in the works there as far as how you've built 3PO and Chewie. So, how I'm viewing it, you have got the CLS team built. You know, you would need to give a Zeta to Chewbacca, and ideally 3PO and Chewie, but you could make that team function and it could punch up to certain teams. I mean, I wouldn't like to speculate what, but I'm thinking maybe small Geo teams, for instance, or Night Sisters, you know, things that could really... Things that 3PO and Chewie's AoE could really tear apart, and don't forget as well, Chewbacca's got an AoE, so there are a few things like that that come to mind, but yeah, even at that gear level, I think they could maybe cause some trouble for opposition teams. So yeah, you've got some good stuff here, just need them 2 Zetas really. But yeah, only thing I haven't talked about, and I'm aware I'm nearly on the half-hour mark here, is ships. So let's just have a quick look. So we've got Annie's ETA at the top of the list. Zeta bumped that up a little bit. Don't forget, even if you don't reinforce with ships, give them the reinforcement mats. It's a simple bit of advice, but always give mats to characters. So for instance, you've got your leadership here, level that up. All the mats add to the ship power, and it just means that your ship will be faster or hit harder. They all affect stats, so don't scrimp on the mats. It's why you'll sometimes see Ahsoka Tano with the leadership maxed. You know, it's not people who want to use the leadership, it's because, yeah, they want to make sure a ship's as powerful as it can be. So, like I say, just don't scrimp on them. Your Vader's 4-star, but got relics for the pilot, so that's not too bad. Let's just sort by power. What are you actually using? You were using Negotiator, weren't you? So yeah, you got a 5-star Negotiator, you've got 2 pretty well built ships. Have you got a tank? You've got a 5-star BTR Y-Wing, that'll do some work. It'll probably do more than Hounds 2, which you can maybe reinforce with if you were desperate. My advice when you use the BTR Y-Wing though is always be sure to put Galactic Republic ships in the reinforcements. So that's why I wouldn't have Houndstooth on the bench, because you're taking that one reinforcement away. The more Galactic Republic reinforcements, the beefier it gets. So yeah, plus 15% max protection, including reinforcements present at the start of battle. So you want that stat. So let's just see, are you using it? You're using it from the start, so I can't see your reinforcements from here, but I would advise make sure all 3 are Galactic Republic. That way you're getting the most out of that unique. But yeah, just general comments really, Metr0x. What I would say is, you've got a good idea of what you're working on based on the fact that you seem to have some things that you're working on. JKR seems to be doing you good in the arena, you Negotiator, I praise you for that, for the fact that you're a relatively small GP, if you don't mind me saying that. But I would say that you're still punching up quite well. So what I would advise, just narrow down on one of them 2 farms. With you bringing up both gas and CLS, I can't work out exactly which one you're focusing on right now as far as your day-to-day farm. My advice would be focus on one and get it done, and then come back to the other. I know that can be difficult because then suddenly you've got more characters coming out, more things to work on, but if you can just get that one thing done, then you'll probably benefit in the long run. I say probably just for the fact that how I view it, I've made mistakes like that in the past by not focusing, and I've regretted it, so I would advise you to focus. Okay, so I'm leaving it there because my dog's been barking it on and off during this review, so I am happy to leave that there. I hope I've helped you, Metr0x. If anyone's got any comments for Metr0x in the comments, let him or me know what I've missed out on. Other than that, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the roster review. Leave your own in the comments if you want a roster review, and I will be back another time. Bye for now, folks.